How's it going, my book lovers? You're not sure what to read? Try read this. Mike Tyson, Biography, Undisputed Truth. Now, this is my second book that I've downloaded from Audible, where people read books through your ears. Now, that's what I want. I like it. I have to say this book is one of the most educated book for me, especially because I'm working in the health sector. Actually, I'm not working in the health sector. I'm studying in the health sector, so I'm studying the community work service. And I've gained a lot of knowledge through going through his psychotic episodes and things he goes through. Now, this book is 20 hours and 46 minutes, total of 19 chapters. Now, let's begin this review. Okay, so as you can see and hear, Mike Tyson, he's the craziest, baddest boxer in history, and out of the sudden things just tumble down. Now, reading his book is, I'm not saying reading his book, listening to his book is pretty emotional, because he goes through being a normal kid who often gets bullied at a very young age, until one day someone just snapped the pigeon's head and threw it right in front of him, and he snapped, and that's how he began fighting ever since then. And I'm pretty sure all of us in our childhood who goes through bullying. But Mike Tyson was ongoing, everyday, daily bullying. And yeah, man, everyone feels the pain, maybe not as that extent, but everyone does feel the pain. And it's amazing how, the baddest person in the world was once a normal kid, and he just clicked it. Now, I'm born in the 90s, so I don't know anything much of the past. The memorable bit, besides of him biting Eva Hova, is that his name? His ear off. But that's the only thing I know about Mike Tyson. Listening to his book, it really felt like, man, I wish I was experienced what he's going through. His story is more like a rock star, a rap star. Like nowadays singing, like, oh, I sleep that many girls, I sniff that much coke, or I drink that much, and then I do repeat this whole thing every single day. Literally, that's Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson did the whole lot. This guy should be dead by now, to be honest. He's too extreme for it. From him to stumble and lead to that path also created a bad outcome of seeing his friends. Wow, he even, knew Tupac, even he was before popular. I didn't know about Tupac got shot on one of his boxing match. But anywho, let's just say the story of his life made a huge educated by his book. As I mentioned before, I'm studying community work service, and he's ongoing with his drugs, alcohol, and his sex addiction, like a rock star, a rap star, and he wants to come clean. And his journey to be clean until today, he's still alive. Like, it's amazing how his old routine was, just the whole lot of ongoing, like 2, 3, or even more than 5 years ongoing. And somehow he wanted to change. And the way he changed was really out of my expectation, because in my assessment studies, we go through rehabs, detox, and other support services. Where Mike Tyson, if he was one of my clients, I had no idea how I'm going to help this guy out. But thank you for writing a story in that way. But at the same time, it's hard to save everyone to get out of that whole mess. Now, he goes through, different type of detox or rehab. It still gets back to it until he meets Merlin. How an old lady who moved to Russia, somehow Tyson clicked in and like her consultation, and he actually committed to detox. But then again, he kind of slipped. For me, in the future, getting this industry, it's amazing how you hear stories like Mike Tyson go through episodes and keep going back to the drugs, and keep going back with the sex addiction, keep going back with his old habit. At the end of the book, he kind of needed to stop it because, he was bankruptcy and he needed to be a good father figure, married to a long-term girlfriend, Kiki, and change his life. For him, stay committed not to go to rehab, but kept his rehab in-house. And for me to see that way, it's frustrated because he literally locked himself up and didn't go out at all. And he was a great father figure. I'm pretty sure most people or most celebrities go under his shoes, won't go through past the rehab or getting themselves clean. But man, Mike Tyson, he really committed it all the way through to stay clean. I was admired to go to see his journey. But at some points he kind of slipped a couple of times. But yeah, today I can't say he's officially clean, but today he's pretty one of the best outcome, to stay clean on his own, and Kiki as well to help him out. And for me to see that, it's like, wow, I'm getting to this industry, it's so hard to the point to see that can lead to broken families or go through a worse path where Tyson, he even said it himself, he wished he was dead and he wished life was better being dead because he can stay close with his mates that passed away. Good mates. But to see that, house rehab on himself, that was quite challenging. And that got me emotional. That got me cried, actually. And it kind of reminded me of one of the TV series in Australia. It's portrayed of the once upon a time Cabramatta is like a suburb that's ongoing with drugs and drug dealing, with coke. Ongoing rehab detox didn't help them out until family taken action. Rehab slowly in a day. Oh, forgot to mention how Tyson slowly detoxed himself is to reduce his intake by weeks, months, and quarter year to stay clean. And that is the perfect method. It's like saying to a smoker, you can't just go cold turkey for the next day. I'm pretty sure they'll be scratching themselves. But to see how Mike Tyson and Once Upon a Time Cabramatta, these two stories joined together, and it made me have a huge idea of this rehab process. But at the same time, I'm getting this industry, so I don't know, it's a good thing to do house rehab. We're more likely to send them to a detox center or rehab center. But I'm pretty sure not everyone works out the same route way. But let's get back to the book. I know it's 20 hours and 46 minutes. It was my second purchase book in Audible, and I just couldn't put down my tablet. Lunch, dinner, I'll be constantly listening to it, and I just go for hours and hours, and it makes me joyful to listen to his story. And it was a great way for me, even a noisy atmosphere, I still can pick it up. I still can have the concentration, going through Tyson's book. And I have to say, his book is one of the most interesting book ever. And I do recommend for those who, especially who gets in the health sector, really do need to read this book, because his journey will inspire you and give you a clear image. What's it like? How, this guy, he goes through every single thing that you never even imagine. Weed, coke, girls, alcohol, repeat the same every single day, and try to commit suicide or doing stupid stuff. Yeah, this is the stories that we wanted to hear. But in the same time, how do we put ourselves to help out the community? And I believe this book really helped me out, and definitely helped me out with my case note assessments and assessments as well, which the teacher for some reason has been telling me I have one of the brilliant ideas. But thank you, Mike Tyson. Anywho, download the book from Audible. Look, I'm not sponsored by Audible, or buy the book. It's worth it. Get it. Recommend everyone to read it. And as well, I mentioned before, health sector. Just read this, alright? I will, W the third will, be with strong power. Mike Tyson. I'm off, man.